Okay, hey guys, what's up? It's Lindsay again, and I'm here with my friend Rachel. You've seen her. I don't know the last video you were in.
Canada Day?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
So we just came back from my cottage. We're just getting ready because we're going to Kiki's house for a little get together tonight because he's leaving, so we'll get to hang out with our friends, and we thought we would get ready and talk about dorm life because we're both going into our second years at university and we're back to Ryerson. And
Sorry. I'm second year at Laurier.
first year I was in a apartment style, and
I was in a double dorm style.
so she had a person in the room with her and I had 4 other roommates, but we each had our own room.
Yeah.
So it was kind of a bit different, and try and keep this organized so it's not just us rambling, but it's kind of just like a get ready with me. We're not like have notes or anything, we're just gonna like talk.
Take out a clipboard and start reading notes.
I'll talk about like move-in day first. So move-in day is like a super crazy day.
Yeah.
For everyone. Like, everyone's in the same boat. Everyone's with their parents moving into the residence. So what move-in day looked like, I think for both of us, is you go to a parking lot, right? And do you wait your turn? Did you wait your turn?
Yeah, there was like a lineup in the parking lot for our building.
So they tell you to go to like a certain parking lot.
Yeah.
Like, you'll get instructions beforehand, and like depending on your residence, you'll go to a certain parking lot. And then you said wait in line.
Yeah, and then we one by one come out of the car, and all of what ours are called icebreakers, and they're like the guides that help move in the first years and bring them to all the events. I'm gonna be one this year.
Yeah.
Fun fact.
So
the icebreakers would help move, like unpack our car and then bring all the heavy stuff upstairs. My residence didn't have an elevator because it was only 2 floors, so they just
yeah, so
got everything up.
you have like people helping. Like, I had like there's like the basketball team, and then like residence council, and my residence was 14 floors, but I was on the 4th floor, so that meant I had to, because there's so many floors, so I was obviously not going to use the elevators because I was only on the 4th floor. So they made us bring everything up the stairs, which was fun, with a mini fridge and like giant suitcases. Yeah. So yeah, that's a hectic time because you're kind of like trying to keep track of all your stuff. Like, I'm very OCD when people touch my stuff. Keeping track of everything. Like, I wouldn't let anyone touch my makeup box thing or my laptop or anything.
Yeah, and with me, they were like, do you have anything valuable?
Yeah.
And the only valuable thing I had was a small plant, like a little succulent. So I'm like, oh, I'll bring that. I'll take that out of the car. So I took it out of the car, immediately dropped it on the pavement. Soil came out of the little pot, and the plant went flying. So I can't even take care of my own valuable things.
Since my residence was on such a busy street in Toronto, we carried it a really long time. They have like pulley things and stuff that you can help like get your stuff out. You just need to like unload it fast. And then let's talk about like meeting our roommates and how that kind of worked.
Okay.
Like, it was really weird with Ryerson because they weren't going to tell us our roommate. I did not fill out any kind of survey. It was completely random, but I did choose all girls. Most of the apartments are all gender, meaning boys and girls, because they don't want to discriminate, I guess, against anyone.
You could have lived with boys.
Yeah, a lot of people did. I know, I was like, I don't want to. So I was in an all girls one because I chose it, but you can stay in all gender, but I liked all girls, so that's how I did. And then they weren't going to tell us our roommates, but like a week before, I guess they had a lot of demand for people wanting to know who their roommates were, because like you literally would go into a blind and just like meet them there. It's like nice to contact them. So like a week before, we got their emails, and then I started Snapchatting like Meg, and that was nice to know at least like what their names were and stuff, you know. Like for you.
So my roommate found me. We had a Snapchat, Wilfrid Laurier, like class of 2022 or something, Snapchat group chat. And then once everybody found out their room number, they put that in the group chat.
Your room number.
Yeah, we found out our room number.
Okay.
We got an email in the building. So everybody put it in that group chat. My roommate actually found me through that. She just messaged me back and she was like, hey roomie. So that was back in the July of last year. We started messaging like throughout the rest of the summer. So we kind of like were caught up
Yeah.
and knew each other. So when we saw each other, like,
yeah.
on move-in day, she actually gave me a big hug.
Aww.
Even though that was the first time I've actually seen her in person.
Especially for that, like, if you're in a double room, like, you definitely would... Like, you took a survey, though, right?
Yeah, we had a
Okay.
survey. We had a residence survey. So it asks you really simple questions like, are you a night owl or an early bird? Yeah, and they try to pair you with the best possible way. Most people, like most of my friends that I met, their roommates, they were civil with, but they didn't really, like, they weren't best friends.
Oh, really?
I got really lucky with Teresa, my roommate, because we were actually friends. So it made it easier to live with her.
Yeah, because then you're not, like, having two different friend groups trying to hang out.
Yeah, because then it's not awkward.
Yeah.
Being in the same room, especially because the rooms aren't huge. So
No, you're, like, right
You're, like,
across.
literally right with them.
Was it weird the first night when you, like, slept in the same room? Like, what was that like?
That was interesting. I was, like, it kind of felt like camp because I've been to summer camp a few times. So it wasn't completely different than anything I'm used to. And we were both nervous. She lived in Waterloo, like where my university is, so she's not far from home. So she kind of had that safety net if she needed to go home.
Nice.
Me, on the other hand, I'm 5 hours away, so when my parents left me, literally I felt like I was by myself. But it was okay because it was nice having that connection. So I really recommend, like,
honestly,
doing that instead of having a single
rooms, like, I understand the want to have, like, your own space, but, like, even an apartment style is better because you have someone you can have something in common with. Like, if you're just in a single room, like, you could be like, oh yeah, these people are on the same floor, but like having roommates, like, you see them more and you won't feel like excluded because you can just go out into, like, your common area and try and talk to them.
If you want a single room but want those connections, like, right away, definitely do an apartment style or apply for an apartment style. Or, like, if you're okay with living in a room, like, with somebody else.
That's, like, the typical...
That's, like, the typical college experience, which I wanted. The majority, most of the time, it does work out that you get along with your roommate. I didn't know anybody. Actually, I knew only very few people who didn't get along with their roommates, and they figured out a way to live together. So the good thing about living with somebody is you have that instant connection, so it helps you make friends really, really quick. You have at least one friend, and then you can walk around and meet other people together. Like,
if you don't know anyone, you have that immediate connection, like, something in common. Like, you're obviously going to ask your roommate, okay, do you want to go to this event together, blah, blah, blah. Honestly, if you, like, I think I talked about this in my last video, but about, like, making friends, but residence, I totally recommend residence. Like, residence life, or dorm life, whatever, they try and integrate you with, like, meet so many people, like, they have so many activities where you can meet people, and they really try to help you through it. So, like, living off campus your first year, like, alone, or, like, with someone that goes to maybe another school, I would say is, like, the worst possible situation. Yeah, I recommend going to residence. It's kind of funny because I had a really good experience in my residence. The majority of my friend group now was on my floor because we were in a small residence, so we all kind of clicked. All the friends that I've met who were in other residences had, like, terrible experiences with their floor, like, they hated each other. But my floor, I guess we all just clicked, and that's, like, that's my friend group now. Yeah, I had an amazing experience. And, like, I made two of my best friends there and in my actual apartment, and the girls right next to us were part of our group too. So you really do meet people in residence. Yeah, you do. And, like, even at residence events, so many people that just, like, want to talk to you, and, like, you'll have stuff in common. Like, even if you're in the same residence building, you could be like, oh, are you in blah 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 building? And, like, start talking. Like, exactly. Like, you just have to bring up conversation with people, and, like, residence is a common thing to have. Something to have in common with, like, strangers, so. Like, definitely going to your orientation week events, because that was a really big bonding experience, and how I got close to all my friends. I know some people who were on my floor who, like, were a couple years older, so they didn't want to go to any of the orientation week events. They just went out every night. They didn't become close with, like, anybody on our floor until later in the year. So it's a really quick way to make friends if you go to the
orientation week events.
Yeah,
So
because the first night, or like when your parents leave, like after you moved in and stuff, there's gonna be events. Like for me, there's only residence events, so it was only people in residence. So like we all had like an opening ceremony, and like there's so many people you talk to that you may not click with, but
yeah, and that's okay.
Yeah, but
you're not gonna click with everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another thing. Like we're talking about it, almost like you're gonna click with everybody that you meet, but you won't. Like you won't click with everybody. There were people who I started out being friends with, like the beginning of the year, and we just kind of drifted apart. So that will happen. Everybody is just like, oh, you'll find your best friends for life at university, but it's true. Like you will, like I can see myself being friends with these people.
Yeah, like residences, most of the time you'll have a meal plan.
Oh yeah.
That's another big thing. As a meal plan, mine dining hall was not the best. Like the food I did not enjoy. Like they don't really care a lot to different food
diets,
different diets. Yeah, kind of annoying, but I had a 5-day meal plan, so I also had a full kitchen in my apartment, so it was nice to cook on the weekends for myself because it was kind of like a change. There's different options for meal plans in residence. Like you didn't have a kitchen, so you had
No, so I had a 7-day meal plan for me because I was in a double dorm. I didn't have a kitchen, obviously. There was a kitchen in our lounges, but nobody used them. Not because they were gross, but just because there was the option.
Yeah, you'll have like a floor kitchen.
I got a 7-day, and that was probably one of the best decisions I made. Obviously, it's more expensive, but it's worth it because on the weekend, if you're hungry, you'd eat out anyway and then spend more money at a restaurant when you could just pay for unlimited swipes at the dining hall. And my dining hall, personally, was good. They had a lot of different options just for everybody too. They didn't just have like one or two.
Yeah, sometimes it's hit and miss.
Obviously it wasn't always good. Like I didn't like everything, but that's like everybody. Nobody likes every single food in the world.
True.
For the most part it was good, and definitely it was helpful having it made for you.
Oh yeah, it's so nice because like you're so like you're thrown into this new thing. So residence really does help you like settle into that middle ground where you're moving out of home, where you're like used to home cooked meals all the time and whatever. So it's really nice that they kind of like you're living on your own still without your parents, but you're still don't have to make all your food. Like you're not totally dependent on your own devices.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then there's on your floor you have an RA or a Don, like you call them Dons, we call them RAs. I think it's called a residence advisor, I think that's what it stands for.
Yeah, that's what it stands for.
So they're just on your floor to help you out. Like you go to them if you have an issue, if you have a roommate issue, like you'll have floor meetings occasionally. They'll ask you like, is everything going okay? And you have to like, we had to sign like a roommate agreement. Like they're very involved and they try and be as involved with you as they can to make sure you're okay, which is really nice. And then there's a residence council. Like at Ryerson, we had academic links, which was someone in an upper year in our program that we could go to for help. And they had like office hours and stuff, which was really helpful. If we needed help with anything, like my program was, I don't think I ever went to my academic link, but they're really helpful if you really need help, or if you need help like with courses or changing courses or like knowing your required courses. They're just there to help you. So they really do try and make sure you have resources for every possible issue. Did you have academic links?
Like people that you go to?
Yeah, for your program.
They're called academic advisors.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, we did have them. I only had to go to one once when I had to change a class, and I didn't know what elective was good for my program. That was the only time I used mine, but you can definitely use it a lot more, as much as that's what they're there for.
That's what they're there for. So. Yeah, just don't be afraid to talk to these people. Like, they're there to help you. That's their job.
Exactly. And ask your Don, like, or RA or whatever you have.
About anything. Honestly.
I became really good friends with my Dawn, and that's really good. Like, that doesn't happen with everybody.
Yeah.
But I became really good friends with mine.
Yeah.
She was just really nice to talk to, and I was also on house council, which was like a residence council. She was the head of the council, so that kind of bonded us more too, because I was around her more. She was always one of the first people I went to go talk to if I needed help.
Yeah, because you're going to run into problems, like whether it be like roommate issues or
Yeah,
just
exactly.
like homesickness, honestly, like just talk to them. Like if they can't help you, they'll connect you with someone who can. Like
Exactly.
yeah, that's just half of my head is nicely curled, half of my hair is natural right now, but it's fine. So yeah, that's just our experience with
residents. Obviously, you're going to have your own experience. You're not going to have our exact same. But
it's good to have perspective from like your double room and then my apartment style and the different schools even. Some schools do it differently, but it's pretty similar.
Exactly.
Like they all care about you. Residence is there to help you, and I really encourage you to be in residence if you have the option and the money, I guess. Especially your first year, and like even upper years can be in residence too. Sometimes it's just like the sense of community is really nice.
Yeah.
So that's just how our experience with dorm life was. Thank you guys so much for watching, and yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope anyone found it helpful. If you have any other questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram or comment them below, and either of us, like, if you have any questions for Rachel about her residence, just let me know. And I'll ask her and she'll answer because we're nice.
Yeah, I'll answer any questions.
Yeah, and if you know us personally or something, you can DM Rachel.
Obviously, yeah.
And like we're gonna be there. We're really open to helping anyone who needs it because we were in the same position as you last year. So.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. I'm sure you'll see her again sometime. Bye.
Bye.
Oh, baby.